Hi everyone, welcome to your March Alchemy Scope. So let's take a look and see what is the macrocycle, what is the narrative that is underpinning the energy set and the growth cycle for all of us, for the collective. So to do that, we look at the Sabian Symbol, and this month's new moon is also an annular solar eclipse. And it's happening at 8 degrees 12 minutes Pisces on the 26th of February 2017. At that point, the Sabian symbol is a jockey spurs his horse, intent on outdistancing his rivals. So if we look at the keynote for this particular symbol, we have intense mobilization of energy and skill in the drive for success in any social performance affected by the competitive spirit. This is talking about every superfluous weight, every unnecessary consideration is to be dismissed in the one-pointed attempt to reach one's social goal. One of the key words for this symbol is self-quickening. So let's take a look. That's the energy for all of us. The collective is going through a self-quickening portal of evolution, okay? And again, the keynote for this symbol, intense mobilization of energy and skill in the drive for success in any social performance affected by the competitive spirit. Okay, so let's take a look and see what is the specific narrative for your particular sign. Cancer, welcome to your March evolutionary alchemic journey. What's happening for you to grow you, mature you this month? So as you see here, I still have the two forms. This began at the beginning of 2017 and will continue as long as I do the scopes. Please tune in to either the square form or the circle form, which resonates for you the most. These two forms are reflecting two branches of the Cancer path. Okay? They typically are similar messages, but nuanced, but we will see. We'll take a look at what came up for you. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and select the growth edge. What is calling to be evolved and matured? What quality is asking to be evolved and matured over the course of the Pisces new moon March cycle? So for squares, Cancer squares. And for circles. Okay, so let's take a look at what those are. We'll peek at them now and then we'll talk about them after we do the reveal. Interesting, okay? So for the squares, mentor, and for the circles, advocate. Okay, so we'll take a look at those in a moment. All right. So if you need more time, Cancer, please go ahead and put the video on pause. Otherwise, I'll do the reveal. All right, let's take a look. Now, we're going to start with the square path here. And we're going to start with the center cards. Here, the yellow bordered cards are the Bral Talej deck. These are from the Northern Italian community, Daminier. The white bordered cards in the circle reading are my own Siri deck. People have asked me if they're for sale. They're not. This is my own personal deck that I've been using for years. Okay, so let's take a look at the center. Now, we have a transformation going on. That's the activated narrative for Cancer squares. Okay. This is the Druidcraft Tarot, by the way. Okay, so death, transformation is occurring and it feels strong. Higher forces, higher level forces here is talking about big soul patterns. It's talking about the source field. This is about bigger cycles in your own evolution. Something very big is happening and it's part of your bigger story. There is transformation that is happening and it is powerful over the course of the cycle, or at least that's on your mind. Okay, so it might not be activated and happening in March, but it is definitely the core theme of your focus. Okay, now if we look in the spiritual sector, we see the journeying card. And this is talking about taking a trip. It's talking about going away, going on an adventure. This is perhaps the death that's calling. Perhaps a new adventure calls you. Okay? Now, if we look over across in the emotional sector, we see joy. Now, emotionally, laughing is talking about feeling bliss and joy. There's an effervescence, a bubbly feeling that you're having with regards to slowing down. Slowing down. Now, for some of you, this is going to have to do with a change in lifestyle. So there's something occurring within you, thoughts, feelings about a death rebirth process, and that a new story awaits, a new adventure, a new journeying cycle awaits that perhaps is very different and has a slower way of life to it. There's something about quieting down, slowing things down, a simpler life perhaps that might be calling some of you. Now, if we look at the base of the reading, we see two cards, union and power, okay? The union card is talking about making connections. It's talking about not just a union with a lover, but it's talking about connecting, having relationships. And for you at the base of this reading, which again, we have higher level forces and death, right? So this is about powerful shift is happening for you with regards to relationships. And indeed, the power card is coming up. So not only did you get higher level forces, but you're getting the power card. So there's shift and change happening, Cancer squares, for you with regards to relationships, okay? Look at this. Up in your mental sector, there's new knowledge coming into play over the course of March about ending. See, there's a story that's coming to an end. There's a cycle that has come to an end, but it's about generating a new birth. So, of course, it's a death rebirth cycle. So ending and generating is exactly the same as death. So right now, you might be thinking about or researching new knowledge around ending some cycle in your life and beginning a new cycle. So that's pretty juicy. Now let's take a look at what your archetype card was. Now for you, mentor is the growth edge. This is what's asking to be evolved and matured through you, okay? Now, here we read what wants to be evolved away from is inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instructions. Okay, so this is inherently about integrity. If we look at what wants to be evolved, it's passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Passing on wisdom and refining a student's character, okay? So the interesting thing about this card is that here the knowledge card is coming up. This card does also allude to school, new knowledge, classes, courses, learning new things, learning a new skill set. So for this card to come up with knowledge ending and generating coming up, there's something about new information wanting to come forward. And indeed, there might be some refining of knowledge. Maybe you already carry knowledge in a certain area, but there might be a refinement that wants to come into play. Okay? So that is for the square path. Now, if we look at the circles, Cancer, we see a different narrative in the middle. So a different focus, a different central focus. First, we have the healing card. And we have the divination card. Okay. So for some of you, this is definitively talking about what will be your focus is a healing career, a spiritual career, a metaphysical career. There's something about metaphysics that is on your mind. It's a focus for a lot of you out there. Now, if that's not the case, then literally healing through alternative methods might be on your mind for some of you. So for some of you out there that have some physical ailments that are calling for your attention, this could be talking about alternative healing methodologies, that's called. And here, this is action. Action is really called to come forward. So here we have the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands in the regular tarot. And again, Druidcraft. But this is talking about creative, fiery, forward movement. This is about taking action. So there's action happening, or the focus of your attention circles is action with regards to metaphysics. Whether you are the metaphysician or whether you're looking for some alternative understandings of things, that's what's activated in your psyche. The interesting thing, emotionally, we have the right card, which also came up for another sign in the same position, and we have the intention card. So for a lot of Cancers, the intention for you this month is to write. There's some expression. It doesn't have to be writing per se. It doesn't have to be writing a novel or a book. It doesn't have to be writing a blog. But there's some expression that is now your intention to bring forward emotionally. So you're wanting to bring forward some communication, right? And here it has to do with money. So again, in the center, there's something here about taking action with regards to metaphysics of some sort. And here we have some defensiveness happening with regards to money. So at some level, your intention is to write, but there's some issue perhaps with the ability to move forward with this intention with regards to money. And so there might be, for some of you, some defensiveness around that, right? So if we look at the base of the reading, we have two things, which is very interesting. And we'll go back to that money card in a second, because at the base, kind of at the foundational experiential reality for you over the course of March, you're fluctuating between feeling courage about expressing yourself, moving forward with your intention to express yourself, right, perhaps, and rest. So you're fluctuating between courage and non-action, taking action, non-action, having courage and confidence, and retreating. Do you see what this is doing here? So there's a navigation that you're pulsating between about courage and taking action and taking no action. So what are you doing? You're going to be thinking about what you want to have happen. What do you want to have emerge with regards to your expression, with regards to your healing career, with regards to your particular metaphysics niche? What is it that wants to come forward, right? So you're meditating upon, you're contemplating what wants to emerge, okay? Now, beauties, what I will say is this. Advocate is the growth edge for you. Advocate. So this is talking about moving out of embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. And it's about moving into and evolving, inspiring you to put compassion into action. Now, compassion can look different ways. Compassion can be taking action to bring healing to people. Taking action or putting compassion into action can be bringing your truth forward and actually following through with your intentions to speak your truth. But again,
with this card, it's definitively saying to move out of embracing negative causes. So it's a reorientation of the flavor of the communications that's asked to come forward. This is about advocating for justice, fairness, compassionate, empathetic causes that are, needed in the world right now. They're activated throughout the world right now. So for you, putting compassion into action in your expressions, in your healing modality, in your work is called. So that's going to be the growth edge for the circles over the course of this cycle. Now, Cancer, what I did is also, as I do every month, I pulled your I Ching narrative. So the I Ching that came up for you, you can find in your library. And I've also pulled your Dakini goddess embodiment. So for those of you interested to dive deeper, you can find your March I Ching narrative that gives another flavor to the circle and the square paths, and your Dakini embodiment details in the library. You can go to the alchemyofholism.com/library, and you can see the details about the services that I offer. So for those of you interested in getting deeper into your particular solar return activations or anything else, do reach out. Okay, so until next time, I wish you a beautiful month. Bye.